Good morning, everyone, and thanks for coming out to 1 Million Cups to hear STO management today. We're excited to have them. Before we get started with introductions, I had a couple announcements to make. One, I had a really great meeting with WIBIC this week, which I don't know how many people are familiar with them, but they provide lending services and business classes and entrepreneurial help, primarily to women and minorities, but not exclusively to them. They actually have helped companies like Mobcraft, is a big one you might have heard of. And so I just wanted to make people aware. I'll put this out if anybody's interested in looking, and they'll be attending some of the 1 Million Cups to be able to offer, hopefully, some help to budding entrepreneurs. The second announcement I wanted to make, I work at Nordic Consulting and just wanted to throw a plug out there that we are hiring for a lot of internal positions. So a lot of folks think of us as hiring epic consultants, but we do have a home office that supports all that in Madison. And we have positions open up, everything from accounts receivable and payroll to VP of HR. So if you know anyone interested, we have a referral bonus program, and it's a great company to work for, a really fun startup in the area. So feel free to put them in contact with me via LinkedIn or if you have my email. And then for this morning, on the 1 Million Cups front, just a reminder that we have the 1 in a Million competition that's going on. So any presenter at 1 Million Cups is eligible to apply, and the grand prize is $10,000 from the Kauffman Foundation. Semifinalists will get to go out to Kansas City and present, and we'd love to see a good showing from Madison and put our city on the map. So we're going to do some quick introductions here. Like I said, I'm Rachel Neal. I'm one of the organizers of 1 Million Cups, and I also work at Nordic Consulting.
Good morning, I'm Sarah Nutty. I work at Catalyze, which is a health IT company here downtown.
I'm Kurt Peterson, co-founder of 32 Auctions, online platform for hosting and managing silent auctions.
I'm Steve, also another co-founder of 32 Auctions.
I'm Mark Burwell, grew up in Madison, but currently in Green Bay and Appleton. We're going to start up a 1 Million Cups program. I'm director of an entrepreneur center as well as entrepreneur in residence at Fox Valley Tech.
I'm Drew Corson, an attorney at Knight & Boucher. That's about it.
I'm Bob Rushline, an inventor of global warming and macroeconomics theories.
I'm Joanne Oravec. I'm a professor in the Information Technology and Supply Chain Management Department at the University of Wisconsin at Whitewater.
Hi, my name is Bob Leiser. My company is Growth Advantage. We help companies develop and execute strategic growth plans.
And then one final thank you to our sponsors, Field 59, who provides a live streaming of the 1 Million Cups event. So if you ever can't make it, if you go to our website, you can click on the live streaming link and watch our presenters. We also have recordings from them that are available on our YouTube page. And thanks to Nordic Consulting for providing the coffee from Crescendo. Over to you then. That's you.
Hello, everybody, and thank you all for coming out. This is new for me, so I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Lynette Johnson. I am the owner. I started up STO Management. It started out as STO Property Management, but as I have started doing a few things, I just made it. I took the property kind of out of the title, but it's still there. And so we're STO Management, and we do property management. I'll start by telling you a little bit about myself, and I'll make this all brief. It'll be really quick. But I'll say that this all started for me, I would say about 6 years ago. I had decided I was moved to Illinois rather, to be with my family to help them because my father was ill. And they decided that they were going to move to Tennessee. I decided I was not going with them. This gypsy was going to stay standing. And so when they moved, I took over their house. and rented it out for them until they decided what they were going to do with it. So that's how all this started. I came back to Madison, and I had some things, I had some things lined up, and found out that things kind of crashed on me. And at that time, I ended up being homeless. So that's where this big old thing began. So as I went through my stages, I had decided that that was a little too much for me. And I'm getting older, and I need to get settled. So I decided to go back to school. I went back to school, and I became a real estate agent. And that was pretty exciting. So I decided to use that as my stepping stone to create a business. And that's where this all began. So what I do is I oversee the entire aspect of, say, property management. My goal today is to kind of express or stress the difference, I should say, explain the difference between my property management company and the greater Madison, all of the management companies that Madison already have. So what I wanted to do, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm a veteran from the United States Army. I've been out of the service for a while, but I did a tour, and I went to Korea and things of that sort. And I come back, and I look around, and I'm like, things are changing. Buildings are going up. Life is going on. But there's still a part of life that's on hold. And I look around, and you see a lot of people that are homeless, don't have a place to live, nowhere to do what needs to be done, just daily living. And I had a lot of empathy, a lot of sympathy for situations like that, and people not having a place to. I mean, I didn't realize how much life we take for granted, some things we take for granted, to even be able to take a shower. It was just, I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? So the difference in my business is that objectively, I'm looking to try to help relieve some of the homelessness. And I'm starting with our veterans because I go to veteran community meetings weekly, and the group is big as this, or maybe even a little bit larger. They have maybe 2 groups, but the one that I attend might be as large as this here. And it's just sad. It's really hard to see this. And so what I'm trying to do is find landlords, people who have property, who are willing to give people a second chance. And so what I do is I will go through the entire process of trying to help a landlord as well fill their apartment, their units. But I'm trying to get landlords here in Madison to give people a second chance. They may have a little smear on their credit, they may have a smear in their background, but I believe that whatever the situations are, we grow and we grow up. I'm going to just say most times. A lot of the times, I'm hoping that we grow and we grow up. And people just need a second chance. They're trying. They want to get their credit cleared up. They want to be able to buy a home or whatever the case might be. But their past kind of holds us back a little bit because there's a smear, something that's holding us back from it, and people are looking at it negatively. But we're trying to clear that up. So as I go through my business daily, I start thinking of different ways to add to it or do something more for it. And lately, I was doing just the overall property management of a private owner's properties. She had a couple of properties, and I was maintaining those properties for her. Excuse me. And we're just trying to. They're willing to help people, even if they have Section 8, things of that nature, which is great. Help them to get housing, and Section 8 pays for it, things like that. So I'll just say this here briefly, that I'm kind of reading this here, because this is like a new thing for me, so I'm kind of reading this here. I'm going to learn how this all works. But what I was saying is that our business, we manage properties, and the way I look at it is I manage properties as if it were mine. My goal is to eventually one day be able to have the company be able to have properties of its own to be able to put people in. So, as I was saying, I think is it Rachel? To Rachel earlier, something that I just had a thought, and I think I might even mention it to Drew. I had a thought, and I was wanting to share this here, and it's not an entire thought. It's just a thought. Of finding ways to be able to do this, finding organizations or programs that will be able to help me do this. So my thought was, there are so many empty, vacant places around. The idea was like a motel, per se. And like I said, it's a thought. So I've not put much into it. But say you have a motel. There's several empty motels across the belt line or something on the south side or something like that. And what I was thinking was, these are vacant places. How can I get into whoever has this property or something to be able to utilize it, to be able to make it work? Because they're individual rooms and they have bathrooms in them. But creatively, I'm thinking, so here's my thought. I had a thought. My brother's a chef. And I said, wow, okay. I'm a family type person. So it's like, let's all do this together. So I said, my brother's a chef. And I said, you know, we're driving. I'm like, well, you know, if I had one of those motels, they all have individual rooms. You got 30 rooms or so, just theoretically. You got 30 rooms. They all have bathrooms in them. And then what you can do is you can have at the end a whole section just for like a dining room, a dining area. And they can utilize the kitchen, shared kitchen, individual bathrooms. And people can, you know, they'll have a roof over their head and things of that sort. So he's like, huh. I says, yeah, huh, you'll be the cook, huh. he says, you know, sis, I'm with you wherever you go. So I'm thankful to be able to have, you know, people to support me in that aspect, at least support my thoughts. And we'll see how that turns out. But ideally, this is what, ideally that's what I'm looking to do. My goal is to somehow find a way to help cure some of this homelessness. Okay, on the back side of this story, I got to a point where I thought I was ready to move. I'd been in one place for a long time, and things around me were just getting kind of scattery, and I decided I wanted to move, and I thought I had a place lined up, so forth. So the place got rented. We're all good. It fell in, and therefore I ended up not having a place to live again. I was trying to figure out, how did I let that happen? How did I get to that point? But because of the fall in, it just didn't work out for me, and that was okay. I'm very faithful and trusting and believing that things will work out. So I got to the point I just needed to. I got a little help, some assistance from the state to be able to attempt to get back on my feet. And so here I am. I said, you know, I can't give up on this. As hard as it is, I am truly having. It seems to me that I'm having the difficulties that I'm having is that it's hard to find landlords or people who have property that are willing to do this. And I am willing to stretch myself as far as I can to be able to make it easy for them. So this is what I had put together to try to help them to soothe it out a little bit. I'm just going to read this here because it's easier for me, and it won't take that long. But STO, this is my mission, is STO Property Management manages your real estate properties 24/7. Our mission, maximize client income by applying exceptional real estate property management skills while ensuring tenant satisfaction by adopting first-rate property maintenance. Here's the headache. The headache, all real estate investors have 4 major headaches. Maximizing earnings while minimizing expenses, timely and proper rental collections and payables disbursements, up-to-date reporting and complete accountability, regular and complete real estate maintenance. My solution. Take the headaches of property management away by hiring us. okay? Sit back and enjoy the well-deserved profits. STO Property Management Marketing Team, our team will provide your vacant property with continuous quality exposure by using innovative marketing and advertising techniques. We will fill out vacant spaces with qualified tenants fast. We take great care throughout the tenant qualification and selection process. Our streamlined operations system eliminates unnecessary cost and wastage. We have a stringent selection process for suppliers and service providers. Everything is documented, intimately used in friendly document forms. We employ professional maintenance people to care for our properties under our management. Our dedicated staffs are knowledgeable on all aspects of real estate property maintenance and supervision. We safeguard your investment by keeping your property attractive throughout painstakingly detailed maintenance, attention to the cost-to-benefit ratio, and practicing regular inspection in order to prevent rather than fix problems. That's what we do. Although I do add things into the pot as I go along because I'm a startup, I'm a new entrepreneur, and I am eager, a little feisty. You know, I watched a movie recently that was called, I think it was called Black and White, and throughout the entire movie, the one thing that kind of caught my eye was that the grandmother, one of the grandmothers in the movie, as they put it, she had 6 businesses out of her garage. And one of them was real estate. I was like, okay, I'm there. So that was one of the things that brought me to the point where I can say, you know, I can add, I can do a little bit more. I need to make this here work. How can I make it work? So goalie, I'm trying to say, I'll take a person who has a situation, I process their things, and try to get them into a place to rent. But my big goal is to get you in here to rent, get you on track. Not just find a place for you to live and leave you alone, but get you on track so that my going to school will pay off, so that I can help you buy a home. So that's what I'm trying, that's my ultimate goal, is to try to do it that way. I think it would be more beneficial to people to try to help them clear up some of the problems than to continue to let them linger. And soon enough, I'll be my first best customer client to making sure that I'm on track so that I can do that. And with that, I'll say the one other thing is that, as Rachel had mentioned, I also attended the WIBIC, as we call it, the WIBIC, part of the WIBIC program. It's a great thing. They do offer classes. They offer, you apply for loans or something where they can help your business get going and get started. For me, I'm going through this program with them because I want to make sure that I'm doing this the right way. I know it's kind of like a guessing game, you know, you win or, you know, take a chance. I get that, but I still want to make sure that I'm doing it the right way. I don't want it to hurt anyone. I'm not looking to gouge your pockets. I'm not looking to any of that. I'm trying to find a way to help other people, but it's hard to do that and you still have to maintain and manage yourself. So it's not a non-for-profit, but we're trying to, you know, make a goal to be able to help people. That's more so important. So with that being said, my financials are very minimal, but I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stop trying. So the next thing that I'm in the process of doing, and that's a plug, I'm going to take that from you. I may be in contact about a job. But I'm looking to get out and work to make more money in order to keep my business running, because I just don't want to give it up. Yes, ma'am.
So I was going to, is it okay if we check with some questions?
Oh, most definitely. That would definitely help me.
So it sounds like you have a couple different ideas going. So I'm just going to focus real quick on your STO management. Because you're doing good, I'm wondering if you can build partnerships with some of the people, like the maintenance people or things like that, to offer your property management service at a lesser fee than some of the competitors out there, as kind of a way to get your foot in the ground, foot in the door. I don't know, how do your costs for property management stack up against like a Madison property management or something like that?
Great question. As far as fees and things like that go, I have a very flexible, flexible scale. What it is that I basically charge different ways. So I charge a full rate for full service. That's just at a percentage of the revenue. Other than that, I charge, it goes a la carte. So as an example, you may have a property and you're trying to get that unit, just a unit rented, and that's all you want is to get the unit rented. So you just want to use a piece of me, and that's the selection process. I will screen, I will select, I will do that piece, and that's what you would pay for. So it's a la carte, or you can get the full service, and it kind of works. I have a client, a gentleman who's in Milwaukee, and so I'm actually working through the web to do it. So then, therefore, I don't even have to travel. Although I sometimes don't feel comfortable with that because I feel responsible, and I need to touch your property. I need to see it. You know, I need to go check on it. Those kind of things, make sure things are going. Not that I don't trust other people. That's not it. But I want to be able to say, you know, we did and we've accomplished, and I want you to be happy. So the fees go according to the client's needs.
This is more of a comment, but it seems like given that you're targeting the homeless veteran population, a big barrier to them succeeding in getting housing and jobs seems to be this blend of the smears, like you said, on credit or arrest history or whatever it is, but also the shame component and the having to go through exhaustive applications where they ask, how much do you make, how many kids do you have you ever been arrested? I mean, a lot of stuff that's towing the line between, Fair Housing Act violations and essential information that landlords need. But that seems like a great space for you to get in to streamline that application process and remove a lot of the baggage and the shame from it, and, equip people with a sense that, they're worthwhile, and you are in many ways an advocate for them, and you're a conduit. You're not really a gatekeeper, you're a gate opener for them. So,
and thank you, I agree with that. What I do is that my hopes is that if I screen an application, what I'd like to do is say, you're the owner, I'd like to say to you, you have a property that's open, I have a slew of people that would qualify. I've already processed these applications. I've screened their background checks. I've done all of those type of things. Would you be willing to look at this applicant and consider this applicant? In that process, what I want to do is I want the applicant to be prepared for me to be able to present. So that smear on your credit or that smear on your back, whatever it might be, the goal would be to help you resolve that. So if it's a smear on your credit or something like that, then let's make arrangements. Touch it. Let them know that you're trying. You may not be able to pay it off. You may not be able to do this. But for a landlord to know that these things are being touched, taken care of, you're working on these things, they're looking at what your potential is and what you can possibly do.
Are you insured in any way if one of these tenants who has bad credit defaults or doesn't pay rent, do you have any kind of insurance through your company that you would provide to the landlord to say, hey, if something happens, I know you're taking a risk, but we're protected?
Ideally, that's great. I've been working on that piece because what I'd like to do is, I just had this thought like 2 days ago. What I'd like to do is I'd like to be able to, if I could, that's why I'm working with WIBIC. If I could get to that financial stability point, I want to be able to say, the thought I had was the rent for the year is X amount of dollars. And my company wants to be able to take on this unit, if that's what it is, take on this unit. Allow us to be responsible for it. And I mean completely. So if the tenant doesn't work out and we have to move them out, then we're going to move someone else in. The entire process so that the owner has no loss. I would love to be able to say the rent for the year is $10,000. I would love to be able to give you $10,000 up front and just say, here's $10,000 for the year. You don't have to worry about it. I'm going to take care of everything else, yada, yada, yada. But you don't have owners who are, that's not an idealistic thing to do, because then they don't have that touch for their property. They don't have that, they feel disconnected. And I never want that to be the case. I just want them to fill the pockets.
First off, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
You have such a remarkable story. I think that one of the side jobs you should have is motivational speaker. You've made it very clear to us the central message that the solution to homelessness is getting people homes, and good homes, homes that they can be proud of and all that. But in terms of where I would see you going, you need big money and big shoulders behind you, perhaps a church, perhaps Habitat for Humanity, perhaps that type of infrastructure. I would hate to see one lawsuit, one unfortunate situation, one person who has an overdose or something like that bring down what is such a remarkable vision and remarkable dream. But on the other hand, we have these entities such as Airbnb and all that. We have these online entities that are platforms that are growing up, springing up, that are linking people to available spaces in communities for maybe 3 months, 6 months, and all of that. There are, I know many professors who leave for a year or 6 months, whatever, leave their homes, people who relocate, they don't want to sell their homes, but they would like to have them leased out, and having a way to do that in Madison would be great. I know that it's available in other locales, especially on the West Coast, Seattle. If you'd like to go to Seattle and all that, the first stop is Airbnb. So again, lots of great ideas. Please be a motivational speaker.
Thank you. I think the hot flashes will probably hold me back at that point. But thank you. I do appreciate it. I really do. And all of that insight, some of those Habitat, I didn't even think that far back. But thank you. I will definitely put that on my list, because I'm trying to say, do I contact construction companies or, the builders? Who's the project manager for that project? Or, I'm trying to figure out who and where do I, who I need to contact so that I can grab on to some of those, because they're building so much around here. And it's like, I gotta, how can I get one? I need one so that I can get a few people out of the meetings and off the streets and things of that sort. So thank you. I do appreciate that, because that's my goal. Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm just going to kind of touch base on a few things, because I know I've been involved with projects that you kind of touching on. Is that it looks like it's beyond the passion, obviously, because you do have a dare to dream concept in that, and I look at it as more of a social enterprise. And I think for you to go out and do that all yourself, it's going to be hard. So the best thing to do is to take that passion and to really leverage it. And the biggest two words you should think about is that self-sufficiency, because obviously entrepreneurship is self-sufficiency, and all the people that you're placing into the rental or the housing, they're going to have to be self-sufficient. Otherwise, they're just going to freeload in on that. So they need to, it's kind of like an incubator concept. So a lot of the urban areas that have been successful, what happens is you need to leverage a lot of entrepreneurs. For example, instead of having your brother do the cooking, you can't build a stainless steel kitchen and all that because of the health permits. But you can have a lot of entrepreneurs be involved in the community, in the Madison community. There's hundreds of restaurants that I'm sure would somehow participate, or caterers that would probably bring some food. And by doing that, they would be a part of your mission. So what you have to do as an entrepreneur is really think about building a small model, different than Habitat for Humanity, different than everybody else, because you want to be an entrepreneur. You want to disrupt something, it sounds like. You want to do something for a cause. So because of that, I think you can do that, make it small, and then have everybody create the demand for the other entrepreneurs, including even people in the property management field, whether they're electricians or whatever. If they're going around and helping, that can be part of your revenue streaming. Get them involved and helping to bring back that to earn some profits for what you want to do. So you can kind of be the hub more than just trying to do it all yourself, because it isn't going to happen. Entrepreneurs can't. So I think the biggest thing is you are at WIBIC now. I know that it is a risk, and you're preparing yourself to minimize the risk. I would say that Julianne out on Park Street there, she is definitely involved a lot with social enterprising. She would understand that. So I would, make sure that you continue some things out there with her as well. Yes, she is. Julianne.
Okay, I think the lady that I've been dealing with is Andrea, but I'll
sure.
definitely look into it. Definitely. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I guess that's it for questions. We usually like to ask one more question. Up. Hang on.
I was interested in your what sounded like the motel situation. If you could take an old motel over, and then everybody'd have their room, their privacy, their bathroom, or you could share the kitchen, like a lot of hotels do, with a breakfast in the morning anyhow. Right. But you could go 24/7 on that. It doesn't have to be just the morning. Right. And I was thinking there was that abandoned thing in Highway 12 up to Baraboo. But I think they might be destroying that or something. I don't know. But there's got to be some old abandoned motels somewhere. And if you can find, in the metro area or something, that there's got to be something somewhere that's just been overlooked. And it would be perfect for what your purposes are. But just thought I'd expand upon that idea. If you're thinking of gobbling up a hotel or something like that. And
that's been my vision. I mean, every time I drive past the ones off of the Beltline, I just keep thinking, can they use these? These could be used. This is usable space. This could work, I keep running across that idea, and I just keep thinking, how? There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. But of course, you're going through that process, and everything is money, and more money, and more money. And like you all said, it's a very expensive idea that I have. It's a very expensive idea, and how can I get that help, or the people that I really appreciate that thought, that grabbing another entrepreneur who's trying to start up, that's trying to start something, and us coming together to make something happen. Can I pick your brain for a piece of this and a piece of that, and can we make this happen for everybody where it benefits all of us? So, I mean, I love that idea. The contractor that I have who does the hardcore maintenance stuff, walls, floors, ceilings, roofs and things like that, he's a developer, a private owner, has been in business for years, and I keep him close to me because he's the one that his company would be the one that would do all those big things for me. So that idea of many entrepreneurs coming together, it's just mind-blowing. I mean, because you can't just imagine what all can be done, when they get to that point. All righty.
And lastly, while we're here together, what would you ask of us as a community? What can we do for you to help you move forward?
I thought about that question when I saw it on your email. I was trying to think, what would I say? What would I need? I thought that, I think that what I wanted was, this was it. This was a great platform for me. This was what I wanted. I needed to be able to get it out. For other people, now that you've had the opportunity to meet me and my idea is there, I'm open and I'm flexible to those ideas. I just wanted to be able to share, and if everyone here would do the same, I think we'll grow and grow together. So that's what I was looking for. If everyone would share, I'll give you my business cards, and if we just share them, if you know someone who's thinking about, I can't find those people who want to leave, take vacations or those kind of, I can't find them people yet. I got to work on my marketing for that piece. But if we can share that information, pass the card off. If you know someone who has property or would be interested, I would love to give them that, I don't want to say that spiel, but give them that information and try to help wherever I can. I'm still working on how fees and things like that will come about for these different things that gets added, different things like that. But I'm more focused on the final outcome. I'm more focused on, as an example, I have a client who does not. I've not taken any money from anyone, but I give her I'll pass you a referral. They have a place available, but you're going to need to contact them. I've talked to them. They are willing to give you a second. They are second chance landlords. I'm not sure who they'll give the second chance to, but it's the second chance landlord. And I'm going to give you this information. And I've not charged anyone for anything, because my goal is I really want you to get off the streets. You know, I'm working on those fees because, you know, I have to live too, but I'm struggling just the same, and so I understand. And we don't always have it. Not everybody has it. So money is tight. Money's hard. And so I'm working on those things.
Lynette, thank you so much. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me.
Feel free to grab coffee. Say hi to Lynette one-on-one if you'd like.